Colin McRae, also Tommy Mackinnon. You know, give him his flowers, as the kids say, as well. Speaking of flowers, we're going to smoke those things down, courtesy of a three-rotor Volvo wagon. This thing is carbon Kevlar underneath that Sunoco livery. This is Cole, and Axel Turbo is his YouTube page. He built this thing, bought this thing for 1,500 pounds. It was in some shape, that just kind of went the wind, and then he brought it back to life in grand fashion. He has a video right now that has like 100,000 views.
The car stands out to me. It's not the look of the car, it's the howl of a V10 engine in red. On board right now, listen to it.
It is wonderful, isn't it? Yes. Mika Hakkinen, such a star.
In 2024, but never seen in public until global dynamic debut right here at the Festival of Speeds. Wow, it is loud. An array of his cars making their way up the hill. Dario Franchitti piloting this. The Gordon Murray XP2.
Yeah, he's really getting a lick on, isn't he? As he hurtles into Moulcombe, kicks up the dust, sounding absolutely wonderful.
He kind of freezes, he looks at the tire.
Meaty, and for Mike with it, of course, we see him in the drift cars, quite extraordinary runs with a lot of Red Bull backing, does great Red Bull events all around the world. I'm just hearing of a fantastic one down near Queenstown in New Zealand, but he can't help himself, and we don't want him to help himself. But in fact, he set his pants on fire early this morning, went up the hill, the oil trail had to be there, but right now he's
proud of going fast. Absolutely, winner of the Formula.
cars in front of you in the night in the fog, but to win the 24 hours as this car did, you know you've done something very, very wrong. We moved from the fierce battles between the BMW Batmobile, that was the 3-litre CSL, and the Ford Cologne Capri.
The technical delegate had said no, fraud, yes, and that gave them an enormous technical advantage. Downforce certainly was. And that assisted with Jensen winning almost the first 6 or so Grand Prix on the trot. Eventually teams caught up and the battle for the championship became a lot tighter with the Brawn and the Red Bull of the
We've got the Red Bull RB7 here, and it's Patrick Friesecker who's driving it up there.
Lots to develop, lots of work to do, but wonderful to see it here. It's finding its form, you know, it's sort of late to the party. There are other manufacturers coming in here that can certainly be ahead of them. Well, it is the winner, and certainly at Le Mans, talking to the fans when I was down there, everyone was
a part of the chassis, because the front suspension, I think, was attached to subframe.
reliability
Also, I think in 1955...
And this is the one that will be, we think, setting the pace because it was yesterday in the timed shootout that was just a practice session. It was yesterday after.
You've got a fantastic, short, sharp, very tightly twisted rally course happening all weekend, and quite a lot of the cars do go up and play on that as well. Over 120.
On the throttle pedal, but hopefully we'll be able to hone in and hear the screaming, John, as you're waving at the screen.
He's driving at Joe McCarry, better known as the purveyor of high-class quality.
Up the hill, although when you hear it, there is nothing stealth like it with a 5.2-litre V10 itself to the checkered flag.
Yeah, so this car dates from 2012, so it's a bit of a bit.
We like the people of the top of companies to be motor.
Go ahead, catch your breath.
No, just when you have to lean back in the commentary box, go,
Yes.
wow.
Yes, sir. Look at this. This is absolutely amazing. Ryan Turk, relax. We got another day and more demos to put on and put smiles for miles. Ryan Turk found this 3S GTE Toyota-powered stout. You can see the wide body. You can see the flares. Brand new Beltec suspension on the corners. The race service boys are watching from the seat.
The highlight reel. I have not seen anyone do that around that wall. That was
I've hardly seen
incredible.
anyone even slightly sideways around the wall. Yes, a little bit, but that was all fully across the course. The flint ball, maybe caught him out. I don't think so. That was supreme talent.
Wasn't it, just?
And crumble, but the way the teams were run, absolutely amazing. Under Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich, they had every eventuality covered. They already had the tools in place, knowing how to fit it. A lot of unitary elements.
Of Pagani's own Mercedes-developed V12, and it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, this is very much built for that LMP2 level of performance in prototype racing.
They still sort of blink and go, really? It's modern to my eyes.
It does, doesn't it? It still has that modern look to it, and it was a fantastic machine. For the McLaren to have the road car, but then was convinced, the McLarens were convinced to actually race it. It was. F1 car with 6 wheels ever to run actually in races.
Yes, I think it was the principle behind the 6 wheels was not, you don't need 6 wheels, but was to get a much, much lower.
quiet, silent assassin of tires. So it's really interesting to see. Again, I've ridden in an R32 with an EV motor. That's kind of a Tesla motor into a Skyline. I've seen a Camaro. So here's a manufacturer saying, let's build an electronic drift car. You know, we've seen the Mach-E 1400, which Von Kitten Jr. built in conjunction. We've seen that on the hill. We've seen the Transit. But here's Hyundai saying, hey, let's build a purpose-built drift car specifically for that. And, you know, I believe it's one of the techs from Hyundai in itself driving this car. He did a 3-minute burnout the other day, so got a little clear track, so why not?
Yeah, scratch the surface Hyundai, they're doing things very, very differently, and there's a huge amount of...
Listen up for some interviews in the months ahead of what they're building into their road car range. I mean, I struggle to get a hire car.
Spider.
Yeah, and we go from one convertible to another. And this is the first convertible Ferrari since 1969. That was the 365 GT.
It'll be this one, the when they'd all be lined up on the start line back when I used to go to Silverstone as a kid.
Car on that X-Comp, you know, Ultimaniac, Chris Forsberg, but he was pushing those hay bales. No, hey, they do not give back. And there is James the Machine Dean, 4-time Formula Joe champion, unarguably probably the best drifter in the world. Heart of a gentleman, but a monster behind the wheel. He's piloting this RTR.
Press on, he does well to get those bras.
Cool is at the wheel, coming up towards Moulcom now, the little kick to the right.
Past the flip wall now.
Yeah, this car is fresh from setting a brand new record, and that is from 0 to 200 miles an hour and back to 0 again in 25.79 seconds, which is...
Carbon fibre monocoque, a nod of course to the McLaren Formula One team with the...
Or so.
Yeah, I'm just talking about time, Andy. looking just about off on absolute really wet weather tires. All the cars are running up the hill on a wet weather tire. It's probably the
doesn't sound too shabby either, does it? Rorty engine of Ricky Taylor, an illustrious American racing family. Great to have him on board this weekend.
Yeah, lovely to see it. So we will see just how it comes.
And you contrast then the McLaren F80 the Le Mans 24 hours in 1995.
And driven by JJ Leto.
Up and down the field when it comes to supercars. We've got the Koenigsegg CC850. This very much paying homage to the past and looking towards the future.
It is. It's a bit of a
2.5 litre period. And look, people have them today. They race them. They love them. They're packing their car, which is almost not, well, it is identical to the car we just.
Some drivers will push it hard, others will take it a little bit more carefully. Now, until I'm pushing hard, you may see the next up the hill going a little bit more rapidly because they are rally cars who love showing off. The WRC2 Toyota Yaris here. This is the mode.
Ferrari MC Extrema. We saw this waiting in the wings. A track-only racing car. Only 62 of these produced.
Driving this, and it was, of course, an absolutely crucial part of their many victories. Has been crucial.
Yeah, it wasn't just the speed of the cars as we went into the more recent years at Le Mans 24 Hours.
2004 and 2005. That's a 180 horsepower in a car weighing less than 600 kilograms. They make the current Formula.
1,850 brake horsepower. Now, it's not going to flat out, but this is a
yellow trims on board. This back really from 2016, but a track only again Ferrari's XX program.
Yes, so like I just said, the XX cars are normally track only. The previous have their cars looked after by the Scuderia and taken to tracks by Ferrari, and they can just play with them. What a nice day out, isn't it?
That is an incredible experience. 6.3 litre naturally aspirated V.
That helmet, that looks like young Ollie Behrman behind the wheel of that, that's going to stop perfectly outside the house, do some donuts for the crowd out there, kicking up a little bit of dust as well. But as you said, this is the 2024 Haas Ferrari VF24 1.6
onto the grass.
litre, a bit of grass cutting there, kick up more dust for those stood alongside. But this is the 1.6 litre charge hybrid, and I have to say,
12 may be power from the old school, but it is packed with modern day technology. It's got a KERS style hybrid system developed with Rimac. Looking forward to seeing this car. I've read all about it, and now we're getting our first glimpse at it very close. You don't want to go there, mate, trust me. But this car is packed with beautiful aerodynamic accoutrements, which reference the HDK
rear wheels, and yet keep it all under the smell, different smell as he heads up the hill.
Yeah, if he offers you a used car, still.
There we go, we've got a camera facing on straight past the house, but what an iconic car. Bought by Ross Brawn, the team was, for £1, John, just £1, and look at the success they had.
They took those 4 titles with Sebastian Vettel in the 2000, sorry, in the 90, not well, yeah, in the 2010, 11, 12, 13, when Sebastian Vettel was able to dominate that period, and for Red Bull it was absolutely crucial. Looking at the RB70, this is the 2011 version that we're enjoying, and back to 3 seconds, and the wheel of this one. Very dominant with 12 wins in the 19 Grand Prix, 20.
But now we run the worst team. It's an incredible accolade. You see, we started like